I was actually thinking if we could get into field goal range. I didn't think they were doing a great job. When you get into real long yardage situations, and they do the same thing when you watch them on tape, is they're going to rush three. They're going to drop everybody into coverage. There's not a lot of holes in there to fit a route, to fit a ball in. So I just said, screw it, let's run it, see if we can get out of it, and we got a first down, unfortunately. So.
What's Darren Sproles done in the first 2 weeks to have so many explosive plays on offense?
I first and foremost, Darren's a receiver, and I've said that since day one, since we've had him here. He's just a special player. When the first day we had him, it was how many different ways can we find ways to get him the football? But he is just a dynamic football player, and we're really excited. He can run it, he can catch it. I mean, he can do it all. He's a complete running back, and he really came up huge for us tonight.
What's it mean for you? This team to come back 17 points down, never before in the history of the NFL to start a season. What does that tell you about your team to come back from two deficits like that?
The one thing about this team, I think they're really grounded. It just means we're 2-0. And I think it also means we have to execute better on both sides of the ball in the first half, so that you're not going to make a living continuing to be 17 down in this league. We got a very, very good Washington. We got a division opponent coming in here, coming into our place on next Sunday. So hopefully we got it out of our system, but we need to do a better job in the first half of executing. So.
In the first half, Richardson and Bradshaw, I think, rushed for like 101 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Second half, you shut them down. What changed?
I think Billy and the defensive guys made some nice adjustments at halftime in terms of what they were doing. They did some things that they hadn't shown before, and it's just that chess match that goes on between the game. I think Indianapolis got a great coaching staff. I coached against Pep. Pep does a great job. They were in some unbalanced line. They were running it to the unbalanced and coming back to the short side. They did some different things and really challenged us. And I think the adjustments that those guys made at halftime really kind of paid off for us.
You talked about how you like how Parker carries himself in this game one, but come back and take 2 game winners. What did that show you?
Yeah, same thing I've thought all along about him. He really doesn't get phased. I mean, I didn't say anything to him when he missed the first one. And there wasn't a conversation or anything. There's no reason to have a conversation. He's always up, so I didn't have to say anything mystical to him. I mean, he's just going to go out there and kick it. He did a great job.
Where were you and what was going through your head when they said they called timeout and that first kick at the end didn't count?
We had crossed the field because I thought, obviously the game was over. So just went back to the sideline and let's do it again. So we got to kick it twice. We got to kick it twice.
You take us through the Darren Sproles touchdown run and also the 57-yard screen pass that set it up.
The screen pass, was that to him? Or was that to McCoy?
The 57-yarder was to him.
Was to him? Yeah, 51. I don't know the numbers. I just know there was a long one. That set up the Mac touchdown, right? The screen pass didn't set up his touchdown run, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah. His touchdown run, they were doing a great job really in the red zone of keeping us inside. We were trying to get the ball to the perimeter. And then they forced us into a cutback, and then he's got to go against the unblocked guy and did a great job. So, I think and then on the screen pass, we felt like we had that all day long. Not all day long, but I think what they were giving us coverage-wise, when their rush is getting to you, you need to do something to negate the rush. And I think to negate the rush, you got to use your screen game as a weapon. And I think, a lot of times the pocket was collapsing around Nick. They were doing a good job with coverage down the field and playing a lot of softer man coverage, but really sticking with guys. So we felt like the screen plays were going to be there for us. And obviously we executed, and he's a real dynamic screen runner. So.
27-27, what did the defense show you there getting the ball?
Yeah, just some huge plays. The big pick by Malcolm. I don't know if that was before the 27. Was that before the 27? The big pick by Malcolm was huge for us. They came up big when they had to come up, and against that guy, I mean, he made a couple passes today. I just like, wow. They threw one to, I think the one carry ended up on a face mask where he just threw it left outside shoulder to Reggie Wayne right in front of us, and I just kind of wow. And there was another one where we hit him, flush in the chest, but he stepped up in the pocket and made it. He can make all the throws, and it was a challenge for us to go against him because he's just such a talented guy. But I thought our defense came up big, and then that third down stop, to get us back on the field and give us a chance to, to kick the field goal to win it. So.
Did you make any adjustments at the half in terms of your run game? There's probably some struggles there.
Yeah, there were a few, and I think credit goes to their D-line. They're big. That's probably as big a front as we'll face. And they did some really, just a little bit more physical than us early. And I think maybe the cumulative effect of the game going on, wearing them down a little bit, may have helped us. But we were really calling the same plays in the first half that we called in the second half.
What do you say about your team's resiliency? 2 weeks in a row now coming back from big deficits.
I think a lot of it is they have confidence in what they're doing, but I think their confidence it's not fake confidence. It's based on their preparation, and it's as hard a working team as I've ever been around. They really truly understand what we're trying to get accomplished. we've tweaked some things from last year to this year in terms of our preparation. I think those guys have done a great job with it, and I think it showed. There was nobody on our team in the fourth quarter that didn't believe we had an opportunity to win the football game, and they were all playing like it. I don't think anybody was on our side was tired, and then had guys on the sideline just talking about this is just like period 22 in our training session. So you can kind of see that they value what we're doing during the week, and I think it shows off when we're playing games on Sunday or Monday.
On the O-line, Gardner and Kelly, what do you see from them in the first?
Yeah, I thought they did a nice job. You get thrown into the mix, and first starts for those guys. Obviously, Dennis coming off an injury last year and really starting to come into his own, and real happy that we had him, because of what happened to us last week in terms of getting two guys down and then picking up Andrew and being able to plug him in at tackle. I thought, both those games for their first starts, they held up pretty well for us. So.
Chip, the wide receivers didn't catch that many balls to save for the team. That you do it without a lot of catches for your wide receivers.
I think it's there's going to be weeks where they have a lot of catches. There's going to be weeks where the running back we run it a lot. There's going to be weeks where the tight end catches it a lot. There's going to be weeks where the running back catches it a lot. It's just, I think the ability to have weapons at each position is big for us. But I thought Coop had a couple big catches there in traffic that helped us extend drives. Mac had the big touchdown for us when they were called upon. They got it, but we thought coming in that their corners were going to do a pretty good job, and we were going to have to win at least in the man situations inside. We caught them in man on the big play right when we got the drive. They had a linebacker lined up on Ertz, so it really helped us, and we got we thought we needed 25 yards to kick a field goal, and obviously we got the big chunk on that first one, and then we threw the screen to Darren, and then we knew where we were. But I think having players at other positions can really help those guys out. They draw attention, but when we have guys at other positions, that you can't cover them all. So.
How do you think Nick Foles responded to last week's full 60 minutes tonight?
Yeah, I thought Nick was just like the whole team. I thought he showed a lot of resiliency. There was a couple of things I think they had a few drops on him in the first half. He probably could have placed the ball maybe better a couple times. It was a combination of him and the receivers, and I think everybody just kind of settled down. And then when we needed it, he did it. So.
Is this what you expected when you got Sproles, or is he doing more than you anticipated?
No, I knew he was a really good player, and we were excited to get him. But until you really get a chance to see him in practice and see all the other things, I know he can run the ball, and I think that's the one thing that I've said since we first had him, that he has the ability to really give us I don't think we miss a beat when LaShawn is out for a play or two. And I think LaShawn feels comfortable if he has a big run that, hey, let's put, I can go out for a play because 43 can go in and there's not a drop off. So he's a really, really good weapon to have on your side. So.
Two more guys, two more.
Jeff Parkey spent most of training camp here in Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm.
What did you guys like about him when you made that trade? Has he surprised you at all?
We liked his, just statistically looking at him, what he did in college, and then obviously some of what he was doing in the preseason. And we knew he had a big leg, and we just felt like we had to get a big leg, and that, obviously you're not going to make every field goal you kick, but if you can have a weapon that's going to help you from a kickoff standpoint also. And we were really looking hard for a guy with a big leg, and when he became available, it was a great fit for us. We were fortunate enough to make the trade for him, and he was just in a situation, they got a Hall of Fame kicker here, and I don't think it was any indication of Cody. It was just that, Adam Ventura is one of the all-time best that's ever played this game, and we were fortunate to be able to get him. So.
Okay.
Thanks.
Got it.
That's good? All right, perfect.
What is Darren's role to your team?
I mean, he's just so versatile. I mean, you see what he does out there, catching the ball out of the backfield, running the ball out of the backfield, screen game, special teams. He can do so many things. And the thing I love most about him is he's a great teammate. Guys love him. He's great in the locker room. He's a guy you can depend on, and he's been a great addition to our team.
Did you realize, I knew guys knew who Darren Sproles was and what he can do, but are you realizing a little bit more up and see it up close like this?
I mean, I used to always play with him on the video game back in the day, so yeah, I know what he can do. He got me a lot of points when I played with him. But he's a talented guy. He's very, very talented, and we just got to make sure we keep giving him the ball where he can do the things he does. And that was an extremely good Colts team tonight. Hats off to them. They're a great team, great leadership. Hats off to them tonight.
Nick, what did you see or Chip see on those two long third down runs? Floyd and obviously Sproles, if I remember.
Just seeing them playing coverage. It just came down to execution. Our linemen did a great job of getting out there and sealing off some blocks, and then our running backs did a great job of, hitting the hole and then making a play, after the run. So definitely big plays.
The winning drive can define a team and a quarterback. What did that last drive define?
I think it was a great team win. Facing adversity, we've definitely faced our fair share these last 2 weeks, and the guys stuck together. Defense made big plays, special teams, and offense we started getting things going. That's huge. A 2-minute drive at the end of the game, and then having Cody go in there and not only kick one but kick 2 field goals, and just shows what kind of kicker he is, what kind of guy we have. So it was a great team win, and I'm really proud of my teammates.
Nick, you're speaking to that third down reception that Zach Ertz made in the middle of the field that resulted in the Sean McCoy touchdown that really sparked the offense there.
Yeah, I mean, Zach's been doing a great job since he got here, really getting open, running good routes. He's a big target, and he can make the catch any which way. If it's at his shoelace, he's going to make the catch. And he does a really good job of that. And, I had protection to get the ball out, and the other guys are doing their job running routes to move the defense. So definitely a big play in the game.
What in the first half,
First half, second half lopsided, first 2 games so far.
Y'all together on this question? Same question? One more time?
In the first half, you settled for the 3 field goal attempts. In the second half, you got 7 points when you're there. What was the difference between the first and second?
I mean, we have to make sure, especially on the road, that we get touchdowns in the red zone, and we just didn't capitalize. We didn't execute in the red zone. I need to do a better job of that, and especially on the road, you have to capitalize and get touchdowns in the red zone. But when we got back in there, we made the most of our opportunities, and we got away with some touchdowns that put some more points on the board, and eventually, scored more than they did.
Is it good to be a comeback team?
I mean, it's good to have that in your arsenal, to know that your team can stick together through adversity. Do you want to go down like this every single week? I mean, if that's what it takes, we'll do it. But we need to play better football in the first half offensively. Our defense is doing a great job, so we really need to get things going, and that's something that we'll work on this week and something that we'll look to improve. I know that. No, I was saying there's a lot of stuff that, even though we won like we did, that's a great team. There's a lot of stuff to improve on, so that's the exciting thing for us. We need to improve.
Is there something right now that's identifiable in your 2 first halves as a team that just it hasn't clicked?
I mean, I miss some throws. I miss some throws that could have really helped us out. And if I hit those throws, it'll shorten the chains. We'll get inside the chains, and I feel like we can capitalize on that. So I just need to be a little more accurate, give my guys the opportunity to catch the ball and run with it, and I think we'll be in good shape and get the rhythm going.
Into your offense before that last series, do you have to say anything to your teammates?
I'm so fortunate to have great guys in that locker room. And when the offense came together, knowing that we had that drive, it's a great offense to play for, because guys just look at each other and say, oh, hey, let's go do this. And that's what I love about them. Everybody had that determined look in their eye, and everybody was relaxed. I think the big thing in that instance is don't tense up. Just let's go out there and play. Let's play the football we know how to. We don't need to do anything crazy. Let's just execute our offense, get down the field. If we score a touchdown, great, but let's get in field goal range and let Cody knock it through.
What do you mean to outduel Andrew Luck?
Andrew's an outstanding quarterback. He's an outstanding leader, and he will be for as long as he wants to play this game. There's a great team win tonight, and I've always loved playing against Andrew and know what kind of guy he is. So, it was a great team win tonight.
Nick, you had 2 new guys in your offensive line today. How would you say that they did, the whole offensive line?
I thought the offensive line did an outstanding job. Those guys fight each and every down, no matter who's in there, and they give me the opportunity to drop back and throw the ball. So I love those guys, and they really opened up some seams for our run game, and they fight every single down. So I love them.
Hey, Nick, I know your stance about this. In the week, you said that you need to play better. How do you think you played personally?
I think that I can definitely play better. I think that I missed some throws that I need to hit, but at the end of the day, we have to keep playing as a team. I know that my teammates depend on me, and I'm gonna continue to improve. I'm gonna work each and every day. We have a great quarterback room. We have a great quarterback coach and Coach Musgrave that's really going to push me. So there's a lot of room for improvement, and I just have to take it one day at a time. I'm really excited that we got this win because this was a big one. And now we just have to recover and get going again because we have a short week.
Got two more? Unless you're good.
Awesome. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Bill, turn this off. Oh, yeah.
Throw my shades on. Let me stop. All right.
Sean, 3rd and 15. He had 3rd and 15 there. Chip calls a running play. Get the first down.
It's one of them type of games. Just trying to make a play. He puts a lot of trust in the backfield, and he felt that was the right call at that time, and it actually worked. You know, the guys up front opened up the hole, and it was pretty cool because they was kind of backed off, and we just made some plays.
Has Sproles surprised you? Did you know he was capable of these many explosive plays?
Nah, I won't say surprised me. I've seen him in the past. I played against him a couple of times, and he's always find a way to make plays. If it's on the ground or it's in the air or for special teams, he's really giving us some spark. I mean, shoot, without Sproles, man, we'd be in some trouble. To be honest, we really would. I think that's why we're a team. When guys are struggling, he's picking everybody up.
Is it good to be called a comeback team, or is that dangerous?
I don't know, but I will say this. I will say it's actually good to come back and win, because every game is not going to be great. We're not going to do everything right, and there's going to be times where we need to come back. I think those are championship teams that kind of fight at the end and they win. Now, every game shouldn't be like that, and we don't plan to, but we need to have that fight and to get back on point sometimes.
When Parkey hit that field goal and you realized they had called a timeout and he's got to go back out there again, what's going through your mind?
I mean, we do this all the time with special teams and in practice, and he's a confident kicker, and he's pretty good, So I was like, hey, do it again, and he did it again.
We saw you on the sideline going crazy after Sproles scored the touchdown. I mean, it's like this is over, you're over, it's over. Do you mind, maybe having some carries taken away?
Man, to be honest, I mean, he's helping me out. Like I said, without Sproles, we would be in some trouble. I need to get my thing together. I feel like I'm not playing to my level that I should be playing at. And tonight, where I had a average, above average game, where he came and carried us again. And two things is like it's good to have that, because when you get that type of attention from the defense, other guys are making plays, and he's doing that. So I don't mind it at all. And another thing is I don't feel as tired or as beat up. I had about 20 carries, maybe like 2 passes. I didn't have too many touches. Just enough to be effective.
And so what Sproles do that you as a running back can only appreciate?
Just I think the yak yards, being in the right positions to make plays. Something that we kind of do that's special is making guys miss. A guy that's not accounted for, he's there, and you make him miss or different pass routes. He beat the guy on that route. We go over and over every week, and it worked. So stuff that other backs can't do. That's something that you can't just expect the guy to go out there and just do. You can't.
How dangerous do you think you guys are on the screen passes, with you and Sproles?
I think we're dangerous. We're mixing different things in. I think the last screen we had to him, I went the opposite way, and he came in motion, and it was crazy because they called a timeout. If you notice, they called a timeout first because they were like trying to figure out where to go, and then we did it again. And then moving at that fast tempo was really hard to kind of pinpoint and game plan for it. I think it's special to have us there together. I'm happy. I'm excited because now it's different things you can do with it. And Chip, knowing him, he got his stuff to a science. He's going to figure to do this and do this next week. Different packages. So it's going to work out.
What does it mean for you to get these back-to-back home from behind wins?
It feels good, man. It feels good to win. The great thing about winning is if you don't play well or if things don't go right, to have the attitude to fight to win. That's what it's all about. That's what we're doing every game. Fighting, clawing to win. Now we're going to have them blowouts. That's waiting to happen. Hopefully next week. But if you got to win like this, we got to win like this.
And you said you can play better. You said you can play better. Nick says he can play better. Jeremy says he can play better. guys are 2-0, and all those guys said they can go better. How high can this team go? What do you guys do?
Really high. I think it starts with me. I gotta get it going. I gotta be the guy to get it going, so we can suck up them guys and throw the ball deep, and everybody can make the plays. I mean, that's something I take personally, and it starts with me. And that's how I see it. I think if we all play on another level, we'll be a way better team. It says a lot about us not playing on that elite level and still winning these games. Where if we're hitting on all cylinders, I mean, sky's the limit for this team. Let alone the defense is playing excellent.
We're out. Sorry.